look at it. Just look at it. That's the original Xbox dashboard, and isn't it just so unnecessarily cool, green and glowy? Well, this week we learnt that it's going to be available to all Xbox Series X and S users who download the May update. A beauty to behold, and a reminder of simpler, worse times. To be young and stuck on the menu screen because the disc won't load properly.
Oh, if you think that's bad, I still have nostalgia for blowing in those damn cartridges.
Oh, hey Cyril!
Hey, Lorne.
Looking sharp today, but what you doing here?
Hey, Lorne, it looks like you're having so much fun. I just wanted to stop by and tell you a few things that I learned, starting with how I learned...
Whoa, sweet child of mine, Cyril. Let's get the show on the road, and then you can tell us what you learnt. I'm Lorne.
And I'm Cyril, and these are 10 more things that we learned this week.
Hey, that's my line. Kicking us off this week, welcome to what must be the most famous false start in gaming. As this week we learnt from the wise and powerful Halo Infinite developer, Joseph Stanton, who teased that a new gameplay trailer is coming very soon. And better still, gamers and gamettes, Defunct Games has obtained an exclusive image of the new game in action. And I must say, a vast improvement all round, am I right? This week we learnt that nostalgia is officially out of control because people are looking back longingly at something they know was terrible then, just like it's terrible now. This week we learnt from a Mass Effect Legendary Edition development blog that while they have gone out of their way to make the Mako not so much of a thorn in the dick to play with, for some reason they've left the original configurations as an option despite admitting themselves that they are terrible. Who the hell wants an immediate mission failure if your intergalactic Pipmobile so much as grazes a lava pit? Or spends countless hours driving across landscapes with less personality than a ninja livestream?
One thing that I learned this week is that the people I live next to should probably be nervous because Zombies Ain't My Neighbors is finally finding a new home on the Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Lucasfilm Games will be re-releasing their 1993 run-and-gun classic along with the lesser-known Super NES sequel Ghoul Patrol on June 29th, complete with new modes, features, and quality-of-life improvements. I guess what that means is that I need to start figuring out what the critics said back in the day because we're definitely going to do one of those classic magazine retrospectives on these two games. Can't wait!
Want to get the lowdown on the latest and worstest in must-not-have gaming accessories? Well, this week not only did we learn that I'm still very much Trill, we also learnt that whatever Sony can do, Microsoft will also attempt, as we learnt from leaked documents from Adidas that reveal a bunch of work-in-progress concepts to make a ton of error in the script here, dopey-looking kicks themed after Xbox consoles.
You mean Adidas? Like the budget Nikes, that Adidas.
Yes, Adidas.
Like the all day I dream about sex, that Adidas?
Yes, Adidas.
The thing you wouldn't be caught dead wearing outside because it's Adidas, that Adidas, right?
Yes, Adidas.
Lorne, I think you might be saying it wrong.
Well, I think you might be saying it wrong.
Trust me, I know a thing or two about saying words wrong, and that's definitely not how you say Adidas.
How can you be so sure?
Look right there, look. Google says it's Adidas. I knew you were wrong.
But look, it also says Adidas too. Look here.
I'll accept your apology.
Look forward to it arriving sometime, never.
Good news, everybody. This week I learned that I've been wrong this whole time about Stadia. According to Google, their streaming system is, and I quote, alive and well. Sure, like the toilet I just pissed in is full of fresh and clean water. Or my arm getting chopped off is merely a flesh wound. Everything is fine. Promise.
Something 80s action hero one-liner, as this week we learnt that after deciphering two tweets so obvious Mr. Magoo could see them coming, it has been revealed that Call of Duty Warzone is continuing its 80s love affair by rolling out two Johns who know a thing or two about action and mayhem. John McClane and John Rambo. What exciting, it must be highlighted. This is Call of Duty, the baby daddy of first-person Twitch shooters. So how would you ever know that these were the actual characters? Even if someone else sees you, it'll be for less than a second, and the longest time that you'll see the character models of McClane and Rambo, two characters famous for never dying, despite ridiculous odds, is when they're in a lifeless heap on the ground. Oh god, you so crazy.
This week I learned that I needed to be a whole lot more specific when I asked for a new Fatal Frame game. Instead of getting the long overdue 6th installment of the 20-year-old survival horror franchise, the developers have chosen to turn it into a damn pachinko game. That's not what I asked for. It's also the same thing that happened to Silent Hill, which confirms one of my greatest fears. When an iconic horror game gets killed, it doesn't die. It just comes back to life as a stupid gambling machine. Well, then again, losing your life savings is definitely scarier than a ghost.
You know, Sega really knows how to treat its player base, it seems. And when it slides into our DMs, it knows all the right things to say. Because this week, we learned that not only are they seriously considering settling down and making an honest woman out of all of us, with promises of reboots of Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, not only strengthening its active IPs such as Yakuza, Persona and Sonic, but on top of all of that, it may just get down on one knee and pop the big one, because they teased work on a quote, super game.
Now, they define that as a new IP that starts out losing money, but eventually goes on to make billions. Yeah, that's cool and all, but they already had a super game, and it was called Fighters Mega Mix. It was great. It was the very definition of super. I mean, it let you fight the Virtua Fighter characters as that car from Daytona, USA. How much more super can you even get than that?
Shut up, Sega. Just shut up. You had me at Jet Set Radio. You had me at Jet Set Radio.
This week I learned that everybody was ready to dunk on Sabec for releasing a calculator app on the Switch. Sure, I get it. Spending $10 on a calculator seems crazy in 2021. Yeah, and let's be honest here, you probably already have something that does all that on your phone. But guys, I think you're missing the point here. What happens if you only have a game system and you need to solve a complex math problem or spill boobs using only numbers? Is your fancy PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X going to be able to do that? Oh, I don't think so. Checkmate.
And finally this week, we learnt that the little guy can still win, and win big. The fan-made, reverse-engineered source code to Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City went live on GitHub, and was later pulled by copyright holder and triple dipper of games consoles Take-Two Interactive via a DMCA claim. And it's back! Making waves, and I for one could not be happier. According to the counterclaim, the code didn't contain any original work created or owned by Take-Two, and thus belonged wholly to the original creator. So, while the claim from Take-Two Interactive doesn't have to go home, it's gotta get the hell out of here! And sure, the precedent this sets is a road less traveled by the majority of creators, and relevant to even fewer still. But in an age where copyright law is less of a Captain America shield and more of a Thanos Infinity Gauntlet laying waste to content creators small and legitimate, we'll take whatever wins we can get. And I, for one, hope to learn of yet more good news in years to come when it comes to this subject. But that's a story for another time, perhaps, because that, gamers and gamettes, was 10 things we learned this week.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of 10 Things We Learned this week. As you no doubt noticed, I showed up for some of this episode. I hope it wasn't too jarring, but I'm going to be popping up in future episodes since I have so much fun writing some of my own stories and doing the fun skits with Lorne. In fact, you'll hear more of me next weekend, so be on the lookout for that. Now, here's the question I have for you. What did you learn this week? One thing that I definitely learned is that Superplay reviewed a whole lot of games in their 47 issues. You should consider that a tease of what I'm currently working on. We'll talk about it in the future. If you want more stuff like this, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,